Today on the Topic Show, Trump says he won't beg and is okay going to jail. Biden tweets his most viral statement of the year saying that no one is above the law. Jeep to debut their very first EV and pricing. Spicy Coca Cola is selling. Free Palestine versus Philadelphia Pride Parade clash. Halo Pride tweet is ratioed and roasted on social media. And Poppi Prebiotic Pop lawsuit is filed. All of that and much more on the Topping Show. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of the Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day. I say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, you see, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or a business owner, you can reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Now going over to the business part of the podcast, you have Jeep to debut their very first EV with pricing starting at $72,000, which is, yeah, I'm not sure how many people want it, but they are going to produce it. That's a fact. Now this comes to us thanks to Jay Caruso and Matthew Kazin over at Fox Business, which, believe it or not, Fox is still somehow in business, which perhaps they should rename the website Fox Still in Business, but I partially digress. So they say Jeep unveils their very first EV, see how much it cost. It'll feature, again, no one cares about, it's an EV. I don't know how many people really care about horsepower because, again, everyone knows by now the appeal of EVs is, instant torque. You go apparently this goes 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds. So you'll be able to get your groceries that much faster, or more accurately, go to the soccer field. And it'll feature 600 horsepower, which, all right. Now, the downside is it's not the Jeep you and I think. Granted, when most people think of Jeep, they think of the iconic Wrangler, the off-road machine, which runs sometimes, but I still respect it because they have a manual transmission, at least last time I checked. But nevertheless, this is apparently is not going to be the iconic Wrangler. This is going to be the Wagoneer S, which, it looks like it's going to use the same EV architecture as the Dodge Charger EV, which, again, a great product that all 18 people will greatly appreciate when they produce it and deliver it. The starting price tag for this, again, starting at $72,000 before you have to be extorted. Pay the local sales tax or registration fee, which is usually a percentage, unless you have a little LLC in Montana, but again, not legal advice. And it looks kind of like they took a Jeep Wagoneer and they took a hammer to it and just smashed the crap out of it and flattened it. And the image is so flattened, you can't even hardly make out their iconic grill, which, again, it's an EV. They don't need grills. I understand that. But in terms of brand awareness, I'm surprised they crushed it that low. The lights crushed like that kind of looks interesting. They're kind of like slits, like a very bastardized rectangle. And the inside looks, like an EV. It's got lots of touch screens, which of course will never break or, cause issues when they stop making that and they break 5 years from now. Then they got, standard rims. I'm not sure who really wants this though. Now, some of the comments, of course, are quite fascinating, and I always love when the articles actually have comments. One of the first comments comes from Ted Bear saying, quote, "To date, the federal U.S. government has allocated $7.5 billion for charging stations, yet we currently only have 7 online. Let that sink in," unquote. Which, again, the ineptitudes of the U.S. government, you could probably write not just a book, several full-length encyclopedia series on that. There's quite a lot of content to go over. Yeah, that's pretty epic. That's, as a youth might say, that's an epic fail. But I'm, again, not too surprised. The Republican says 90% of EVs manufactured are still on the road. The other 10% made it to their destinations. I got 58 likes with the previous statement. I got 73 likes. And a lot of people bring up the issues of, where do you charge these? What's long-term ownership? And again, apparently EV Wranglers in the works for, again, all 18 people who want them. Will this sell? Stellantis certainly needs sales, obviously. And Wagoneers are premium, big SUV, which, again, in terms of product categories, EVs not so much, but in terms of the crossover SUVs, that's, one of the biggest things people are looking for. Also, hybrids, which, again, this is not a hybrid, it's an EV, which, again, if you have lots of money, sure, it's a great luxury item. If you want a car that'll last your family, 15, 20, 30 years, yeah, it's trash for that specific use case. But Let me know, would you ever want an EV? And then would you want a Jeep Wagoneer EV? I wouldn't, but let me know in the comments. As always, I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Other interesting business news, you have spicy Coca Cola selling, which is interesting to say the least. Granted, I'm trying to think last time I actually had a Coca Cola product. It's been quite some time, though ironically I have them in the fridge for podcast interviews. But nevertheless, this comes to us thanks to Priyaja over at CNN. And they say that, quote, spicy is the hottest trend in food right now, as well as drinks. And you see, they got the Coca Cola and it's Coca Cola Spice. So it's fine. I mean, we saw the concept a little while back. I think it was Q4 they announced it publicly. And now they actually have it hitting the street, and apparently people are lining up to buy it. They say that in terms of kind of look at some of the data, they know that spicy description is just having the word spicy in food or beverage has increased 9% year over year. This is according to Circana's latest data. Also found that 11% of 25 to 34-year-olds enjoy a bold. This is hilarious. They enjoy bold and unexpected flavors. Sometimes I can't help but think, do you just pay for market research just to make yourself look good? Kind of like some consultants. Yeah, the youth bought, that's the most biggest cliche of all time. Yeah, Circana's data say, oh, why stop at 11%? 11% of 25 to 34-year-olds enjoy a bold and unexpected flavor. And apparently that's increased 7% from 2019. So, I guess that's looking for it. They also know that the shifting demographics in the United States with more racial and ethnically diverse minorities preferring spicy foods, which CNN, are they going to get themselves canceled for saying that? I mean, probably not because of CNN, but yeah, that's interesting that they go into the demographics, which again, there's some truth to that. Everyone, on average, there are different food and beverage preferences. So it'll be interesting to see how long is this long-term sale? Is it just a short, flash in the pan? Now, granted, I mean, recording this article, I should be one of the ones yearning for this bold and unexpected flavor, and yet I've never had less desire to drink a product in my life in terms of hacking Coca-Cola with spice. Now, granted, hilariously, I'm the only Cuban that can't handle the heat. To me, ketchup is a little too spicy, to be frank, which is why I usually don't have it at all. Ketchup is always also just 99% sugar. But I partially digress. Would you ever buy a spiced Coca-Cola? And actually, have you even seen it on the shelves? As always, let me know in the comments. I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Now, going over to the Culture Pride podcast, you have Free Palestine versus the Philly Pride Parade clashing. Although, I'm trying to think of a more apt metaphor. They are really doing the cliche music videos or the old movie, the musical dramas of yesteryear. Oh, what was it called? It's been years since I've seen West Side Story in high school. You have like a dance-off. Surely someone in the comments can help me with the particular vernacular I'm looking for this situation. But you're seeing the divide is this is not just a cultural issue, but also as many people as a political issue. And you have some people saying that this is a fracture in that community, which I think on average they would say that's more Democrat these days, which again, I'm not saying all of them think this way. It's a major consensus or viewpoint that I've been seeing. Now this comes to us thanks to Jack Poso, and he says, quote, breaking, Free Palestine protesters block Philly Pride Parade. And this is perhaps one of those viral videos all year. It got 28.7 million views, as well as 44,000 likes. And granted, actually, I was about to say their voices sound infinitely better than mine. We'll see about that in New York. Man, but without too much further ado, let me pull up right here. In terms of fashion, I've never what is that called? The leather, like a biker hat, which looks like a World War II soldier's hat. Not the good guys. It has, what is it? The leather jacket. But there's no. Yeah, leather is a very hot material, a very insulating material. Yet he's wearing it in summer, and there's no clothes. So his arms are cold, but his leather vest must be overly hot. It's the ultimate conundrum of fashion. But nevertheless, let's hear what they have to say. I'm sure it's eloquent. Words of wisdom will be brought upon us, I'm sure. I mean, probably not, but let's see what these folks are talking about. Incidentally, the container store is trading about 70 cents per share on average by the time this video is rendered. Maybe it's skyrocketed and it's been a GameStop and they're worth a lot of money. But as of this week, GameStop is around, GameStop container store is around 70 cents per share. I've seen more towels in this video wrapped around their head. Maybe this will help the stock price exponentially explode because of the sales of the towels, the kitchen towels. Probably not. I'll rewind it and I'll let it finish out there. Lots of leather. Lots of it. I don't know. If you're in a leather shop, it must do pretty good. Or a flag shop. How many is that? How many different flag designs are there in this? 1, 2, 3. I saw 4. What the heck is that? Almost like almost like looks like maybe a Star Trek or Star Wars logo. Some type of logo over that pride flag. Yeah. I can't help but think that's the best industry to be in 2024 is flag manufacturing. Because again, there are so many different designs, and it'll be by the time this video is uploaded, like just in 18 seconds, there'll be another design for that flag. The marketing is terrible. I mean, anything from business to culture, politics, you want consistent marketing, and again, this does not have it. And again, went viral to say the least. Got 28.7 million views and 44,000 likes. Which, see what some of the top comments are. The first comments comes from, here, Brett Cooper saying, peak comedy getting 22,000 likes. Paul Zupa saying the infighting of the Democratic Party is ridiculous, getting 1.7 thousand likes. Here, and Wokeness simply has some pop culture reference. Looks like a gentleman in a suit, which granted he did do that, right? All men should always suit up. And he has the soldiers walking out, and the gentleman in the suit simply says, "What's this, a GIF? Let them fight." It got 1.5 thousand likes. Desiree says, "Who paid for this protest?" There's a bunch of signs, which, how many signs is that? Jeez Louise. I want to say the rudimentary signs, but looks like maybe it's more expensive than cardstocks, I think, and it's very consistent print. Perhaps they went to a Kinko's. Well, I don't think they're around, but perhaps a FedEx print job for that. And it says, "Ceasefire now." It says, "Free Palestine," which, yeah, it's got a little wooden handle to it, but there are several hundred of those signs. I don't know who's sponsoring them. Interestingly enough, a lot of businesses are, quote unquote, choosing sides with a lot of these cultural topics and debates and philosophies. I'm actually surprised they don't have those. Why don't they just have like a PepsiCo logo on there? I'm sure, because again, some companies are all about this. They did get 1.1 thousand likes. Going down more and more. Maze says, reminds me of the time CNN mistook a flag of. I try to make, I guess, not spoiler. I try to make this moderately family friendly. I'll alter the text so it's not as adult themed. They say, May says, reminds me of the time when CNN mistook a flag of adult toys at a gay pride parade for a ISIS flag. They did a 7-minute segment on it. They got 1.3 thousand likes. Wall Street Silver says, I'm so confused who they cheer for. I just hope both sides have fun. Getting 3.4 thousand likes. Lucci says South Park is going to have a field day with this one, getting 6.1 thousand likes. Response de Leon says, Woke on Woke is my favorite, getting 1.1 thousand likes. Wall Street Silver again says, Free Palestine protesters versus gay pride parade. Who will win this epic showdown of the oppressed? Getting 6.5 thousand likes. Well, I was going to say it's not the real Gandhi, but it's a Gandhi parody account. It says truth, and it's a picture of the American flag with the text saying sacrificed it all, celebrated for a day. And it has the OG pride flag, there's many now, says June LGBTQIA Pride Month, and it says sacrificed nothing, celebrated for a month. I'm getting 3.2 thousand likes. Which, I mean, back in the day, I think it was a day of celebration, then a week, then a month. Someone actually did a compilation of all the specific holidays with gender ideology of the year. And it's more like 3 months because there's so many days. Granted, there's also a donut day. There is a holiday for every day of the year. If you really wanted to like never work again, I don't know if your employer would really buy that, but scrolling down more and more, you have Sir Majesty saying these two groups will end up clashing soon enough. Oh, jeez. It's a soldier It says Fierce for Palestine that has someone's hands chopped off, and there's was it Pride ribbon on one of the hands. They got 1.8 thousand likes. Junita Broderick says, I think it's hilarious. Groomers and haters at odds, getting 4.7 thousand likes. See here. Levercat Media TM says this should be fun. It has a picture of Biden. Says you can't be pro LGBTQ and also be pro Islam, getting 211 likes. See, Gunther Eagleman says make it make sense, getting 963 likes. Here, oh geez. Energetic Perspective said why not compromise gay pride flag, Palestine flag. Says Hamas announces Pride Month kickoff party on roof of very tall hotel, getting 959 likes, which again is very ironic that people support Pride are supporting Hamas and all that, because again, they're not, as youth might say, they're not down with that philosophy or like whatever I want to call it. So yeah, go to that country, it's not accepted there. For the most part. I know there are outliers. Let's see. Emmanuel Chong says love to see it, getting 311 likes. If there's any contrarian statements, not really. Fact checker here. Oh, I was gonna say, so the Janet Deplorable says I thought we were on the same page as Palestine soldiers with the flag throwing the Pride girl off. She says, but I'm on your side. And 129 likes. Oh, that can't be real. Okay, Moral Tourism says this seems appropriate. And this, again, I think this is doctored, but it said there's someone who actually has the domain or the account on Twitter known as Gay Person, which, like a website domain, that person had been like right off the bat when Twitter got started. But nevertheless, they say, yes, I'm gay. Yes, I live in Iran. We exist. And the Iranian government responded saying not for long, getting 8 likes, which again, that was from 2018. I'm not sure if that's an impersonation account. Again, I don't know if this is photoshopped, but there is actually a blue check mark by the Iranian government. But again, that did get 142 likes. So it'll be interesting to see. Oh, here's somewhat of an apt math metaphor. Silent Meme Majority says, did they not get the memo? It has the Indiana Jones, and again, if you don't understand this metaphor or this analogy or this scene from cinema history, I definitely implore you to watch one of the original Indiana Jones films, well, all 3 really, with the iconic scene where he actually replaces the gold idol with the sandbag to steal it from the temple, and the person is replacing the golden idol. Apparently, in this case, would be the Palestine flag, and replacing it with the Trans Progress Pride flag, and that did get only got 87 likes. It'll be interesting to see how, because again, it's Pride Month. We'll see how many of these types of clashes. And again, it seemed like a peaceful protest. I didn't see anyone getting. Again, you should never get hurt at a protest. It looks like they're just appropriately they're dancing, playing the drums. So thankfully, it doesn't look like it got violent. No one got hurt, and there aren't any injuries from it. And it'll be interesting to see how long this stays as part of the cultural vernacular. We see a lot of these clashes during every Pride Month, or see how long it goes this year. But let me know in the comments. Are you surprised that there's going to be the divide? Do you think could this bleed into direct political correlation, where depending on how politicians support which initiative or which side, quote unquote, they could gain or lose votes? And then let me know, have you seen this in your neighborhood or locally in your community? As always, let me know in the comments. I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Other interesting cultural news, you have Halo Pride tweet roasted and the comments are disabled. Now, this comes to us thanks to one of the most well-known video game franchises in history. The only reason 99% of people bought a Microsoft Xbox console. The only reason they did it because they had an exclusive distribution method with Bungie. I believe this is the original publisher and designer of Halo, the video game, which, and back in my day, our system links were physically linked with Ethernet cables and a physical switch. I tell you what, before we used the internet. But nevertheless, in all seriousness, it's one of the most successful video game franchises in history, revolutionized, I would say, local LAN parties and your internet, and of course later internet gameplay. And that exclusive rights to only have that on Xbox, that to me was what really sold the Xbox. That's the one reason as a kid I wanted it, was for the Halo game. And then you have the system links, which in so many years I should probably try to do again. But nevertheless, like most businesses, they decide to jump into, well, not the best metaphor, dance into Pride Month, which, again, for most businesses, I would be fascinated to see the statistics if they increase their sales directly with the marketing initiatives. Hopefully we can find those later. But nevertheless, this was on their official X Twitter profile. And Halo, which, again, this is such a popular brand, they have their own individual, I was going to say authorized, authenticated Twitter X account. And they got 1.9 million followers, quite a few to say the least. And a friendly reminder to take the 1/1000th of a second to like and subscribe and follow this video, and or my Twitter, which is at The Topping Show. Nevertheless, they say, or Halo says, Happy Pride Month. Embrace love, diversity, and inclusion by equipping the Unity 24 armor coating, nameplate, and emblem in Halo Infinite this June. Let's stand together and honor our LGBTQIA+ community and forging a future of unity and acceptance for all. Hashtag Pride 2024. And went viral, got 5.9 million views, but only 7,000 likes, which, again, it's more likes than I've ever gotten. Another friendly reminder to take the 1/1000th of a second to like this video. But again, for that like ratio, that is terrible to say the least. And in fact, we'll do a little fun here math today, because truth be told, most public schools aren't doing it too well. They got other things to teach. So let's see, 5.9 million, and they got 7,000 likes. So 7,000 likes divided by 5.9 million. Let's see here. 5.9 million. That gives us 0.00186. However, we're going to turn that into percentage by multiplying by 100. That means of all the people who saw this, 0.1186 people liked it. Now, if we feel so inclined, let's round up. We'll say 0.12% of everyone who saw this liked it. That's also known as a very low percentage. We have now provided more education for some students in some public schools in the United States, which is quite sad to say the least. Again, 32-year low ACT scores, and yet the teachers union say they deserve more money. I partially digress. So again, not a lot of people like this, and I mean, in terms of marketing and making money, again, will this make a profit for the company? There are a lot of people in the LGBT, that in the video game community, a lot of people on Twitch, a lot of the streaming channels for video games is exceedingly popular. And one of the most profitable things a video company can do are these skins. Because again, it basically costs next to nothing to design this thing. I know you're paying someone or using computer software, but relative to making a physical product, this is infinitely profitable. There's no limit. You could sell this as many times as you want. So I wonder, are they going to make 100 million? No, absolutely not. 20 million? No. A million? Maybe? I mean, and again, it's pure profit for these video games. Now, interestingly enough, so again, the flag behind it is the trans pride flag, or trans pride color theme. It's not really, interestingly enough, the colors behind the uniforms of the Halo Master Chief, they're not actually in a flag orientation, but they're all just a straight band or columns, which that way they can have each individual Master Chief in front of a specific color, with the one on the very left, if you're just listening, is covered in all the pride, looks like the pride theme. Though interestingly enough, I don't see like a pride flag on it, which again, if this was a marketing initiative for them, I'm surprised they didn't do that, like a flag on the chest piece that's more prominent. It looks like it's mostly colorful. But again, the banners behind them are of the trans flag, not the right orientation. I didn't even think about it, but I guess pun moderately intended, some might say. And again, went viral, but a sure sign of your ideas aren't great. They disabled it. Says who can reply? Only accounts #Halo mention can reply, which apparently they mentioned no one. So we got roasted pretty quick. Now, thankfully, Elon believes in free speech, so we had Bill the Quartering repost it, saying they disabled the comments, and we could comment on him because he actually does believe in free speech. And some of the top comments of the Quartering comes in at, oh, that's sad. I got no likes, but I did comment, and only 31 people saw it. But I'm biased, I'll read my own comment. I'm a little biased, obviously. I say, quote, those who censor others are rarely on the right side of history. I miss the days of the age-old saying, I may not agree with you, but I'll fight to the death for the right to say it. I suspect they are ratioed since if 99% of the comments were supportive, they would not have disabled comments. 0 likes for my comment, but 31 people apparently did see it. Now, getting to the comments that actually statistically matter, you have Joe Defiant saying Halo died after Reach, getting 134 likes. B. Husker says it's not a religion. Quote, you must accept us getting everything you touch up or canceled from life, getting 123 likes. World Alternative Media saying they're making literally everything gay. One side it loses them insane amounts of money, but they'll get good social credit score later. On the other side, it manipulates children, which is pure evil. This needs to end. Unquote. Getting 168 likes, which, again, those scores for your company, especially if you're publicly traded, they definitely matter. Because, again, you want to have more people buy your stock. And, again, some of the biggest stock buyers in history are these holding companies. So, more specifically, venture capital companies, as well as companies that are in charge of wealth management. I think Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street are three of the largest investment firms on the planet. And that's why they have so much sway in the companies. They are usually the largest individual shareholder or individual entity shareholder of those businesses. So again, doing this will actually increase interest in the company for investors who, again, think it's a good idea. And some individual shareholders might actually agree with this as well. Granted, statistically speaking, they make up a very small percentage of the companies, but nevertheless. AI Emerald Apple says, oh gee, I wonder why. Maybe people are sick of this corporate pandering. Even LGBT people are tuning out because they see the transparent corporate greed, getting 105 likes, which, again, a lot of people critique these companies doing this because a lot of them is just a flash in the pan. They do it once a year, but they don't have like a consistent ongoing initiatives that many of the supporters of the LGBT community think are integral to actually standing behind your message. Very similar to the same instance where you see many companies all of a sudden become so patriotic in July, and they say they stand for America, they love free speech, they love the Bill of Rights, and yet they don't actually stand for those values throughout the year. Very similar to Veterans Day. I critique many companies because they just simply do one post on social media, but they don't go out of their way to recruit veterans. They don't go away to raise money for nonprofits that help veterans. They just do one a day, almost like they have to type of thing. So again, a lot of these, more and more people I think are critiquing these businesses because it's not authentic. So they're getting critiqued all around, which makes the question, are they really making a profit off of these actions and these ideas at the end of the day? Now, granted, we're all looking at comments from the post from the quartering, and obviously there's going to be a bias to most people who follow them are probably middle or right-leaning, politically speaking. And I'm trying to see if there's anything, and he's certainly not getting a ratio, but I'm trying to see if there's anything from a contrarian perspective. Because again, there are millions of people who think this is a good idea. They will sell some of these skins and some of these downloadable content and DLCs. The only question is how many? And we're scrolling down more and more. Really not seeing any contrarian statements. A lot of people saying they're dying from cringe. Yeah. A couple inappropriate cartoons. I got one like. Let me know in the comments. Do you think this month are we going to see a decrease in the frequency of businesses going after these types of initiatives, doing these social media posts? I mean, a couple years ago, it seemed like every company, at the very least, they changed their logo to incorporate either the original pride flag or the theme, or now the updated one, the trans pride flag theme. And yet, it's also becoming more and more of a cultural point of controversy in the United States. So they might actually further decrease their market share or lose their sales to their customers. Do you think we'll see less companies doing that this year than last? I mean, it's a long month. There's plenty of days for companies to change their mind or do things differently. And then, do you think it's more profitable for these companies to do so? And what are your thoughts personally? I know it's cliche to say, but let me know in the comments because, as always, I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Now going over to the political part podcast, you have Trump saying he won't beg and is okay going to jail. Now this is first reported thanks to Colin Rugg over at X Twitter, in which Colin has Trump's quote, and granted Trump's voice is infinitely better than mine, but I'll just read the first part before he does the quote. So Colin says, just in, Donald Trump says he's prepared to go to jail, says he's not going to beg the judge to keep him out. The next 3 months are going to be in some of the craziest months in modern political history. Buckle up. And interestingly enough, somehow, Fox News is still in business. They got this interview. Somehow. Now, granted, Trump, as all men should, Trump did suit up, as well as the gentleman in this photo, or rather, more accurately, this video. And of course, his voice is infinitely more eloquent than mine, so without too much further ado.
The judge could decide to say, hey, house arrest or even jail.
It could.
How do you face what that could be?
I'm okay with it. I saw one of my lawyers the other day on television saying, oh, no, you don't want to do that to the president. I said, you don't beg for anything. You just, the way it is.
They could
I'm surprised. I know YouTube likes to censor videos if you actually incorporate music. I'm surprised they didn't have that rap compilation. It's like da 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 da. They had the little sunglasses drop down. I should eventually get to the point where I hire a graphic designer and do some of those fancy things. And another friendly reminder to click the subscribe button because, again, together as we build the show, I'll be able to incorporate some of those cool new features. And again, thanks to the feedback in the comments, I know that picture-in-picture is one of the top things people wanted. So I'm proud to say recently you had that more incorporated into the daily show. Now, Went Pretty Well got 9.9 million views and 60,000 likes. Quite a few to say the least. One of the first comments comes from USMC Lady Vet saying he's a political prisoner, and that shit-eating grin on Biden's face after the other day tells you everything you need to know, unquote, getting 15,000 likes, which, yeah, again, kind of, let's just say I don't play a lot of poker. I like to, in terms of gambling, I reinvest in my businesses, but if I were to play poker, I would love to play poker against Biden. Someone actually, after a press conference where he answered the, pre-scripted questions, of course, but someone asked him, hey, what are your thoughts? Is Trump a political prisoner? Or why are you arresting him? Are you in charge of that? And Biden simply turned around on the way out and just gave a smirk, which, yeah, that's not good poker skills. Granted, I don't think Biden ironically says no one's above the law, but we'll get into that in a second. Let me see here. So Conor Rugg says replying to USMC Lady Vet saying conservatives need to use the term convicted valid and use it in their advantage. Don't let them own it. Similar to how the Biden campaign successfully turned Let's Go Brandon into a good thing for them. Dark Brandon getting 5.6 thousand likes, which, again, conservatives aren't great at marketing. They need to be. They should be. Hire someone or study. But yeah, I was fascinated because I followed Biden, a lot of his associates on LinkedIn. I was going to say LinkedIn. They're not there. Well, they might be, but I mean on X Twitter, so I can gain some more perspective. And yeah, a lot of people are very supportive of Biden. One of the biggest terms that I hear is Dark Brandon, which, I mean, to me that's not good marketing because that just reminds me of when Biden said, "If you don't vote for me, you ain't black," which, again, is pretty morally vacuous to say. You have to vote for me because you're a minority. No, that's that aside. Yeah, conservatives need to figure out how to use that term to their advantage. The convicted felon. Going down more and more. DDB says, never show fear. That is the emotion they want. No one can imprison your mind. Your mind is free. They hate that. Getting 6.8 thousand likes. Red Wave Press says, we could very well have the sitting president of the United States in jail in New York. It's going to be a crazy rest of 2024. Getting 2.5 thousand likes, which, yeah, that could be true. Paul Zazupa is saying, Trump is absolutely fearless. He also knows that going to jail will just amass his campaign and countless more dollars of donations. The best thing Democrats can do now is move on from this lawfare nonsense. They can't hide it. They're out of options. Says cheating is all they have, unquote. Getting 1.2 thousand likes. We also have our favorite leftist, well, not really favorite, but appreciate different perspectives as non-boring echo chamber. Luke Zaleski, which, again, you kind of know everything you need to know about Luke is he wears a V-neck t-shirt in his profile picture, which, again, men always suit up. V-necks are maybe only appropriate for like the 7th date after you've married. You're married, and then you've had like 7 years together, then maybe an at-home date. Perhaps then it's appropriate. But nevertheless, Luke also brags about how, he wrote an article at GQ saying young boys should not be allowed to play football, which tells you everything you need about Luke. Luke says, quote, you'll never convince any MAGA that they're not both the victim and hero and everything. In fact, the core nature of any Trumpers is an absolute absence of self-awareness married to an absolute abundance of self-centeredness, a boundless, overconfident, belligerent expression of the id, unquote. Mentally vacuous as usual, Luke, but nevertheless, 6 people did like that, but was he ratioed? Because 3 people responded. Going down more and more. Ryan says, imagine the cognitive dissonance it requires to be liberal these days. No likes, but you did get, let's see here. Are you not right center? Change right. Let's see. Trump supporters. No, he was completely ratioed in terms of all the comments were negative. Going down more and more. Pretty inappropriate, but amusing. So Base Chef says this is their guy. And it's a picture of Biden. And again, cover your ears if you have children listening. Jesus. And Biden said, again, this is not what Biden says, this is what the meme says. It says, my girlfriend said I was a pedo. I said, that's a pretty big word for a 9-year-old. Getting 705 likes. Scroll down more and more. Libercat Media TM says, the people's champion, raise your hand if you will be voting for convicted felon in November. Getting 3.2 thousand likes. Which, again, in terms of marketing, Trump is going to, he's already raised more money than, I need to look up the statistics, but he's raised a great amount of capital from this instance in terms of campaign funds. Yeah, a lot of people feel like they've been screwed over by government, especially by police and these judges are very biased. I can't help but think it's going to resonate more and more with people who feel politically homeless, so to say, and just feel like the whole government's against. I think it's going to resonate with a lot of folks. So I think it's going to backfire personally. Let's see here. Mr. Bigglesworth's me say these are the ones that should be going to jail, and it's Biden, Hunter, Pelosi. What was it? Bill Gates, Kamala, Fauci, and Clinton. Well, Hillary Clinton. It says "Make America Great Again." At 1.1 thousand likes, and again, that was Hillary Clinton. For the record, I should also say I'm sure she's beautiful, intelligent, and would absolutely never suicide a disproportionate amount of people who are in her life. I mean, she would never do anything evil. Coincidentally, I want to say I hope to have a long, wealthy, healthy life and would never want to prematurely end it. Just for the record, just throwing it out there. Scrolling down more and more. Let's see here. Pro Swing Trading says, if they jail Joe Biden's political opponent 3 months before an election, the Republicans need to refuse to certify the election because of Joe Biden would be an illegitimate president, not chosen by the American people. We would have an absolute duty to refuse to certify. Getting 239 likes. Let's see. So overall, exceedingly high ratio of people who are agreeing with Colin as well as Trump. And it'd be the weakest thing in the world would, again, Trump would get a single vote if he actually like broke down and cried in court and like begged for like any mercy from these monsters. I mean, I just it went even more viral. Now it's up to 10 million views. Yeah, let me know. Is this, as youth might say, it's a pretty baller move of Trump, or his vernacular is quite apt, I think people would say, and I think this is going to attract more and more people to vote for him. But let me know in the comments. As always, I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Other interesting political news, you have Biden, or more likely, White House press secretary, saying no one is above the law on social media, which, yeah, it backfired immediately. It went viral, as youth might say, but yeah, pretty much half the comments are people bringing up the fact of, wait, why weren't you charged for the same thing? But nevertheless, this comes from, I was about to say Biden's political or his social media, but let's be honest, it's probably Karine Jean-Pierre or Jean-Pierre, a fruit lady. But nevertheless, she's been caught several times tweeting in his name on her own profile. So yeah, she's probably the one really writing this. And it went viral though. It's one of the most viewed things on his profile of the year. Got 48.7 million views, which is statistically ridiculously impressive. Or as Trump might say, the statistics for this video, or rather the statistics for the tweet from Biden were huge, huge, but not very impressive. I'll butcher the Trump's accent another time. Now, one of the first, and again, millions of people, I was about to say millions of people did agree with this. Statistically speaking, they didn't like it. 157,000 people, though, did like it. Which, okay, let's pull up the calculator. That might be the worst ratio in history. Let me pull this up really quick here. So, 157,000 people liked it. But 48.7 million people saw it. A little math here today. Oh, that's a small. So that's 0.00322. Let's turn that into percent. Multiply that by 100. Really, it's not the worst ratio of the day. But still, 0.32% of people who saw it liked it. Which is not great. Now, one of the first comments comes from Libs of TikTok saying, great, so I look forward to seeing you charged. And they are referencing all the Biden charges, including mishandling unclassified documents, accepting $5 million in bribes from Burisma with his son Hunter, using his political power and position to obstruct investigations into Hunter Biden, claims he never spoke with Hunter Biden about his businesses despite evidence of the contrary, corruption involving Hunter Biden's business in China, using his political position to benefit Hunter Biden's business interest, allegedly receiving $5,000 from Sarah and Joseph Biden and laundered money from China, knowledge of money laundering from foreign countries to a member of the House via shell companies, including their own granddaughter, referred to as a adult child abuser, and inappropriate showers with the daughter. I got 2.3 million likes originally. The retweet got, nearly, was it 22,000 likes? Con World says accept you, getting 38,000 likes. Let's see here. It's only about 58 seconds or a minute. Donald J. Trump posts from his truth says this is breaking the law. And it looks like Biden, well, at least Biden did suit up. He did something right in this video. and he is apparently speaking at the Council of Foreign Relations.
Or loan guarantees. And I went over, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, I'm not going to, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, what, 6 hours? I looked, I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid at the time. Well, there's still, so they made some genuine, substantial.
Yep, that's illegal, but spoiler alert, he was never charged. That got 8.8 thousand likes. See here. Also says correct. Luke Rudowski says just the CIA, DEA, ATF, and FBI, and probably all of government agencies that are allergic to responsibility, getting 3.6 thousand likes. Going down more and more. Let's see. Real Ben Garrison Cartoons says except Democrats, and it's Pelosi saying no one is above the law except Democrats. You have Lady Liberty. Let's see. You have all the Democrats sitting on a tree. I got 4.9 thousand likes. Savannah Hernandez says, except your crackhead son, right? Getting 42,000 likes. Which, yeah, he broke the law several times. One of the most blatant ones being lying on to purchase a firearm from a legal dealership in the United States, or FFL, or Federal Firearms Licensing Dealership, tied by new guns. It's one of those things where you have to fill out a 4473, which is basically, think of a job application to buy a gun. And on that form, you have to swear, and you can't, if you lie on it, you have to swear you're not addicted to illegal substances. Hunter Biden released a biography book, which was bought by, well, probably no one, but people probably bought by foreign interests. They've just bought all the books and threw them in the trash bin, or dustbin if you're English. And yeah, Hunter actually was on illegal substances at the time of purchasing a firearm, thereby he lied on that form, which again, for any of us, we get thrown in jail for years with more fines than you can possibly comprehend. And yet, yeah, basically no ramifications for Hunter. Biden also said Hunter Biden was the smartest man he knows, which, yeah, if the smartest person you know is someone who constantly just does drugs and hires prostitutes, I don't know how. I mean, it means you're there. I can't comprehend how foolish that is. It either means you don't remember anyone in your life, or you just only think, yeah, I can't comprehend that. Arthur Eagleman says just Obama, Hillary, and Hunter and Alec Baldwin, and anyone who is tied to the Democratic Party, getting 47,000 likes. Count Dankula says, unless you were a Epstein client, getting 57,000 likes. Which, again, I'm just scrolling these and reading them as they come, or in order that they are in the Twitter feed, or X feed. Not a single contrarian statement supporting Biden yet. Jackson Hinkle says, you're literally committing a genocide, getting 59,000 likes. Hodgson says, what about the 8 million illegals that invaded our country, getting 15,000 likes. Dr. Sidney says, except for crackhead son, getting 16,000 likes. Let's see. Melissa Tate says the gaslighting is mind blowing. It says Dems, no one is above the law. Starter pack says Hunter laptop, Hillary Clinton emails. What's Epstein's gal's name? Loses me at the moment, but it says clients, and it has Fauci saying research got 4.1 thousand likes. Arthur Eagleman says, who's first? And it's a picture of Barack Obama, Biden, and Hillary Clinton getting 5.7 thousand likes, which, let's be honest, I don't think they'll never see a day in court. They'll never actually be held accountable for their actions, I don't think. Las Vegas odds, I'm not saying are zero, they're just 0.0000187. So it's not zero, but darn near close. Let's see here. You have the cliche liberal, I forget, it'd be funny if you see like where she's at. Where is she at today? The liberal meme girl, or the girl who's famous for becoming a meme. Not to be cliche, but she has short hair, glasses. Interestingly enough, not blue hair. And it says Putin arrests political opponents, and she's screaming tyranny. It says Democrats arrest political opponents. She says democracy. Got 4,000 likes, which, yeah, where is she today? Probably single with a lot of cats, statistically speaking. But, yeah, be an interesting interview. Where have you been, or what have you been up to? Again, that got 4,000 likes. see. Gizmo says can laugh now. It says total raised in 24 hours after Biden's sham trial getting. Apparently, Trump raised $52.8 million. 2.1 thousand likes for that. Like more and more these posts referencing Hunter Biden. Is this really about to be Chris Christie? Which is, again, a fascinating social media phenomenon in which you have 0 positive responses, which happened to Chris Christie twice when he was running for Republican nominee, which almost, just, again, think about it. You usually have family, friends, a campaign staff. One would think Christie had that. Yet twice on social media, he had instances where no one actually liked him. So we'll scroll down. There's got to be one person. Let's see here. Fig Slangman says you sexually assaulted your daughter. Your wife looked the other way. When will you two monsters go to prison? Getting 1.8 thousand likes. Dr. Seaman Goddick says, wait, didn't you inappropriately shower with your underage daughter? Getting 3,000 likes, which I don't know if you have to keep inserting the word allegedly when they confirmed the journal was real, but nevertheless, we found it. We had to scroll for it felt like a year. We finally found someone who agrees with Biden on this. Because, again, there are millions of people who do. And this is from Lakota Man, who's, to me, famous for, verbally sparring with Matt Walsh. Lakota Man is a Native American who thinks guns are bad, which, again, I don't want to say he's mentally vacuous, but yeah, if you think only the government should have guns and you're Native American, I'm not sure if you know what a history book is, or if you ever just talk to an old person. Spoiler alert, you should never be in a situation where you are unarmed and only the government is armed, because, again, if you read it, public schools probably don't teach this anymore, but read any history book and it'll show you that the most evil things in history always happen when only the government is armed. Nevertheless, Lakota Man does say, absolutely, Mr. President. And that got 3.3 thousand likes. I wonder if he was ratioed, because 137 people did respond to Mr. Lakota Man. And let's see. Like a lot of, they're ratioed, but a lot of them are censored too. See if there's any other contrarian statements. Oh, I found one. The Great Gig in the Sky says damn straight. It's a painting that says Joe Biden, he doesn't claim presidents are above the law. And it's a pretty good painting. I don't know if it's AI, but it is Joe Biden in a suit and his iconic aviators, which, given his eyes, he should wear aviators all the time. Even, dare I say, indoors, which is a social faux pas, wearing sunglasses indoors. But that did get 406 likes. So again, Ashley, and someone has a couple pictures of Ashley Biden saying how it was inappropriate with her. See if there's any other contrarian statements. Again, this is one of the. I'm pretty sure this is. Oh, here's. Pretty sure this is the most viral moment he's had in years. Jen Chong says no one is above the law, and it's the video which, again, Hunter Biden might be the dumbest person on the planet, which is saying something. I mean, he did make money, so maybe he's not the dumbest person on the planet. Like he was able to use his political connections and illegal activities to generate a profit, which I guess some people use those and don't make a profit. So you could argue he's not the dumbest on the planet. This is a video of Hunter where, again, Hunter recorded it himself. He's literally, it's like 18 seconds. Wait. Let's see, it's him. He's recording what is most likely crack on a scale.
2.07 without the bag.
So how long is
2.0.
So he's weighing drugs. It's recording himself. He also recorded himself speeding while using, what was it, crack or cocaine? He had the pipe in his mouth. Took a video of that. I can't imagine being Hunter Biden's lawyer. Although it's probably the easiest thing on the planet. It just says, look at the last name. Oh, okay, charges dropped. Nevertheless, that got 18 likes. So, again, if you go on Facebook, there are millions of people who are, marketing is somewhat working, not on this platform, obviously, but on social media, there are a lot of people just denigrating Trump, and they are calling him, the marketing is all about convicted felon. Very similar to the instance where he had the Trump getting actually had the mugshot. People on the left and the right, well, I don't know which, if camera was reversing the hands, but nevertheless, they both used it to their political advantage and raised millions of dollars. Now, it'll be interesting to see if Biden's shtick or his marketing around, this no one was above the law, does it actually sell? Do people really buy it? Are people going to donate to Biden because of it? Does the average American believe it? What are the people in the middle thinking? That's going to be that's the real question. But let me know in the comments, because as always, I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Now going over to the business blunder of the day, you have Poppi Prebiotic Soda lawsuit, which I didn't even know that was a thing, but apparently there's a fancy soda with some stuff in it. Now, this comes to us thanks to the New York Post, and this is from Sarah Strump over at Fox Business, and like the author says, wildly popular Poppi Prebiotic Soda not as gut friendly or healthy as it claims in the lawsuit. Which, yeah, if you're drinking anything carbonated, odds are it's not healthy, even if they say it is. Now, they say that, quote, a lawsuit filed against the popular Shark Tank phenomenon, Poppi Prebiotic Soda, alleges that the drink was not, quote, unquote, gut healthy as it advertised to be. Plaintiff Christine Combs, of course, San Francisco, filed a class action lawsuit on Wednesday on behalf of herself and a, quote, similar situated consumers of Poppi against the parent company, VNGR Beverage LLC, based in Austin, Texas. Poppi has quickly climbed the ranks. It's even at, you got contracts at Whole Foods, Target, and Costco, which, yeah, being a small business, that is revolutionary. That's what you dream of. They claim that Poppi's gut-friendly promises were false since the soda, quote, only contains 2 grams of prebiotic fiber and an amount too low to cause meaningful gut health benefits. Oh, that's what they're claiming. They say that accordingly, the consumer would need to drink more than 4 Poppi sodas in a day to realize any potential health benefits from the prebiotic fiber. They say that, quote, however, even the consumer does this, Poppi's high sugar content would offset most, if not all, of the purported gut health, they add. Cobb said that she presumably relied on Poppi's promise of gut healthy soda and decided to pay a substantial premium, which, again, I don't know, I kind of just feel like she's upset because she got duped, so to say. Now, Ms. Cobbs, however, did not receive the benefit of her bargains because the product did not, in fact, contain enough prebiotics to achieve meaningful health, lawsuit said. Now, the lawsuit also cites studies that show that consuming too much agave insulin, a type of prebiotic found in Poppi, can actually have adverse health effects. Likewise, Ms. Cobbs is unaware of the excessive consumption of product could negatively impact her health, which that's what the lawsuit says. Yeah, it's your body. You should probably do some research before you're putting stuff in it. And she's like, oh yeah, I didn't know. So she claiming she drank 4 or 5 of these a day. Now, they also say the lawsuit demands a trial by jury, claiming that Poppi falsely advertised the health benefits of their products. Which, now thankfully there are comments, which makes this infinitely more interesting. Now, one of the first comments comes from Libby Clunes, says, why are people getting nutrition from chemical sodas? Of course, it's not healthy. It's full of sugar. Getting 20 likes. Go Noel says it's not soda. At least it's not normal. Says it's a plant-based concoction that has carbonation. Terrible taste. Eat the yogurt. Getting 8 likes. Scott Gee says, let's focus on a minor soft drink company and skip talking about the glyphosate that Monsanto dumps into the environment and on our food every year. Geez, getting 8 likes. Let's see. Mr. Nail says, they really don't have that much sugar in them at all. I don't know what she's on about. Getting 7 likes. Kobe says, duh, read the ingredient list. Getting 8 likes, which, granted, for some Americans, that's beyond their pay grade, which is quite sad to say the least. But yeah, so one of those things where anytime you have a product that even hints at health, I can't help but think you should, again, I'm looking at the can right now, there should be like a nice disclaimer saying like, say the more nuances to it, or linking to a study where you can say, yes, this specific can, because again, this is creeping into that area. Granted, anyone with a I would grant any average consumer would just see this and think it's a fun, interesting drink, and maybe it'll help you a little bit, but it's not going to revolutionize your health. So maybe they just need to have a little link or an asterisk on the can saying, hey, based on a study with our product, which I know it's expensive to have for your specific product actually being tested and have it vetted. Again, that's another cost, but I guess to further drive that point home, maybe they just need a giant asterisk. But the fact that they didn't get it properly put on the can, or they probably didn't manage expectations with the consumer, and now they have to deal with a lawsuit, which again, even if it doesn't go to trial, even if you have to settle, it's going to cost you a pretty penny. That, I gotta say, Poppi, that is certainly the business blunder of the day. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.